And if you really don't want it recorded, please don't be shy to message me. So I'll do very quick introduction. My name is Effie. I'm the VP Student Services at SOGS, and we incorporated this session into our Graduate Wellness Week this week. So I hope you're also taking advantage of the other things that we have going on in our calendar this week. The health and dental plan falls under my portfolio at SOGS. And so I'm here with my student care colleagues, Larissa and George, who are gonna walk us through our Health and Dental Plan 101, answer any questions we might have, and hopefully just give everyone a little bit more clarity because health plans are confusing. So Larissa, off to you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Effie. And thank you to Effie and SOGS for creating and promoting this event. Hello, my name is Larissa. I'm a program manager for the SOGS Health and Dental Plan, and I work with Studentcare, and I'm joined by my colleague, George, here today. George, do you want to say hi?
Yes. Hi, my name is George. I work with my colleague, Larissa, as she said, as a business analyst for Studentcare. Just working with all the schools and partners that we have in Ontario.
Wonderful. Thank you, George. So today we'll be presenting on the SOGS Health and Dental Plan, as well as other services that SOGS provides for you folks, specifically Empower Me, which is a mental health resource, which I'll talk a little bit more about later on. But without further ado, what I'm going to do is share my screen, in which we have a presentation. And if you folks do have questions, feel free to, you can add them into the chat. George will be monitoring the questions and answering them and providing the direct links along the way. But at the end, I'm also happy to walk through all the questions and to further contextualize if that may be of interest. So yes, today we're going to be talking about the SOGS Enhanced Health and Dental Plan. And so George, why don't I let you get started?
Awesome. So my name is George, as I said before. I work with Studentcare as a business analyst. I'm here to talk to you about your health and dental plan and answer any questions in the chat or at the end for those who have any. So the first thing we want to talk about is what is the health and dental plan? The SOGS Extended Health and Dental Plan provides coverage to help fill in the gaps between the basic healthcare programs and provincial healthcare programs. Now, this service is provided to you by SOGS and administered by Studentcare. Studentcare is a leading provider of student health and dental plans in Canada. So you might be thinking.
Yeah, no, George, great. And just something to add, because I often get this question is, this is the SOGS Health and Dental Plan is different from OHIP or UHIP. So I know a lot of times for international students, they might be asking what's the difference between UHIP versus the SOGS Health and Dental Plan. And so what UHIP serves is for emergency services to go to the hospital, those emergency clinical pieces. Whereas the SOGS Health and Dental Plan has extended coverage for like prescriptions, as well as for vision and dental. Many things are not covered by UHIP or even OHIP in this circumstance. So back to you, George.
Awesome. So we're going to talk about who's covered, because it's always good to know if you're automatically covered, if you have to self-enroll, if there's something that makes you not eligible for the for coverage, you would need to know that. And so to be covered by the SOGS Health and Dental Plan, students have to be enrolled full-time in their studies and should have paid their ancillary fees. Moving on to who's not covered, students on approved leave of absence must provide proof of their leave of absence to be able to enroll in the plan. Also, students who are in full-time non-residential programs are not automatically covered, but they may be eligible to enroll themselves during the change of coverage period that Larissa is going to talk about in the coming slides. Also, continuing education students that come to the university on exchange from another university are not eligible for enrollment into the health and dental plan. From now, we're going to talk about coverage period, and I'll leave that to Larissa to take over.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, George. And yeah, so like what George was saying, who's automatically covered, who's not automatically covered, but eligible to self-enroll. As a student, how you can double check is your fall statement to see, have I been assessed for the health and dental plan fees? If you've been assessed the fees, great. Then you'll be active on the health and dental plan essentially. So like George had mentioned, there are certain students, who are able to self-enroll, which I'll talk a little bit more about later on. But let's talk about the coverage and what the enhanced plan actually provides. So there's 4 components here in which there is health plan, the dental plan, vision plan, as well as the travel plan. So for health, you can receive coverage for prescription drugs, up to 80%, up to the annual maximum of $3,500 per policy year. And the policy year ranges from September 1st to August 31st of the subsequent year. So it's supposed to mimic an academic calendar. And in addition to that, students can also get coverage for vaccinations, as well as paramedical practitioners such as psychologists, physiotherapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists, naturopaths, etc. If you ever have any questions, we highly encourage you to go visit the Studentcare website, in which you can look to see what your specific SOGS plan covers. Additionally, you also get coverage for dental services, up to $500 every policy year. And so you can get, coverage for checkups, cleanings, fillings, root canals, and more. So for the enhanced plan, you get coverage up to 70%, in which if you utilize our network savings, you can even get additional savings, which I'll talk more about later on. But at SOGS, students have the unique option of, staying within the enhanced plan, or they can choose to opt down to a basic plan, which we'll talk more about later on. Students can also get coverage for vision. So students under the enhanced plan, they can get coverage for eye exams, eyeglasses, contact lenses, as well as coverage for laser eye surgery, in which we also have network providers to provide that, and they give additional savings as well. In addition to this, students, who are traveling abroad or, over to the States or just anywhere outside of Canada, they can access the travel plan coverage, in which it covers students for up to $5 million per lifetime. And it contains, things such as trip cancellation and trip interruption in an event of a medical emergency. And the travel plan was recently expanded to, cover medical incidences due to the result of COVID-19. So, if you are traveling, then you can indeed get coverage if you are experiencing symptoms similar to COVID-19, which is something that not many travel plans across Canada does provide, but your SOGS travel plan does provide. Perfect. So you might ask, how much does it cost? So the SOGS Enhanced Health and Dental Plan combined is an annual fee of $649.14. And so, students, you will have paid that through your student accounts during the fall semester. And for students who start in the winter, they pay a prorated amount because they get less time of coverage. And for students who have, dependents or family members or a partner or spouse who wishes to self-enroll, that is definitely possible. And the fees are listed here. So, you can choose to add one dependent for a full year coverage, or you can add unlimited dependents for full year coverage. It really depends on what your needs are. And so the change of coverage period, this is a period and time frame in which you can choose to not only enroll your dependents, but you can also self-enroll if you haven't been billed for the plan fees and your student fees. And you can also choose to opt out if you have comparable coverage, from work or from your partner or spouse, or from, anywhere else. So how to opt out, it's really easy. During the change of coverage period, which has already ended for the fall term, you'll go onto the website, you'll log into the portal with your basic student details, your name, student ID, email, etc. And then you'll upload a proof of your alternative coverage. So it's just very simply a screenshot that has your name, as well as the policy number and the name of the insurer, and to show that you're covered for like health, drugs, dental, etc. And then what happens, after your opt-out request has been reviewed and approved, you will receive a credit back to your student account shortly after the change of coverage period. So for students who have opted out, you will be shortly receiving your refund. Although I'm sure folks who are here, they're curious to learn about the health and dental plan because they've stayed within it. Perfect. So how to submit claims. So there's a variety of different ways to be able to submit claims. So the first way that I would highly recommend is using the PageRec card. And what the PageRec card is that it's a card with the details of the insurer, as well as your unique group number and unique certificate number, in which you just need to show it to any practitioner or dental office or pharmacy that has the ability to direct bill. And what that means is that, let's say that you go to the pharmacy and you get 80% coverage for your prescription drugs. So instead of paying all the costs up front and waiting for a reimbursement, you just need to show your PageRec card, which is, you can download it on the website, pick it up from the SOGS office, or even it's on the mobile app. You just show them this card, and 80% of that bill that is covered by the SOGS plan will go directly to the insurer, and you'll just be paying that 20% out of pocket. So you're not waiting for that money back. I remember being a student, I like to keep my money in my pocket and I like to keep my money with me. So we always love to, help students save their money. So that's Pay Direct card. Typically, you can use it for prescription drugs at the dental office because typically they have the ability to direct bill. And, if you go to any paramedical practitioners, just show them the card. And if they can't take it and they can't accept it, that's totally okay, because then you can submit it through the mobile app, in which there's a mobile app in which you can download. I'll show you the link on the website shortly after. But you just download the app. It's a Studentcare app, and you can set up your profile, and you'll be able to submit your claims in that way. And it's really convenient because once you submit the claim, you take a picture of it, you write a little bit of the details as to what the claim is, what category and stuff. And then after you submit that, it goes directly to the insurer to be reviewed and processed. And then afterwards, you'll get your reimbursements shortly after. Another option that is available as well is online forms, which, you print out the forms and you mail it to the address listed. That is an option, although there are a lot more efficient options, as snail mail is not the best, especially during a pandemic when there are mail delays, but that is always an option available for you folks. And so, if you're ever curious about your claim status, you can register with the insurer. So Desjardins is your insurer. You can register to have a Desjardins account to check in on your claims, as well as set up direct deposits. So instead of waiting for a check reimbursement to your home address, you can actually get a reimbursement to your banking account, which is really nice and a lot more quicker and efficient that way. So now onto the Studentcare Networks, all about saving students money. So a really good example of this. So our networks is essentially our way of saving students money out of pocket. In addition to the portion that is covered by the plan, we've partnered with various practitioners and providers to be able to, get students additional actualized savings. And I'll give you a nice example of this. So for the dental plan, for these various services, the SOGS Dental Plan for the Enhanced Plan covers 70% of the services rendered. So let's say for an annual cleaning. So the annual cleaning will be covered up to 70% by the SOGS plan. And if you go to one of our network providers, they give you an additional 30% savings. And that means that your annual cleaning is 100% covered. So you're not paying anything out of pocket. And that's really nice because you get to save money and that makes us happy. But it's also a really great way to, make sure that you're going to a provider who's familiar with working with students within the network. And so another example is basic services, for fillings, oral surgeries, endodontics, periodontics. Again, 70% is covered by the SOGS plan. So if you do already have a dentist that you go to frequently, that you like, that is not part of the network, no problem. You can go to them and you'll get 70% coverage through the plan. Although if you do want to have some additional savings, I highly recommend you to go onto the website to check out where the dental providers near your area is. And we have providers all across Canada. So even if you're not in London, you can choose to go somewhere, or you're studying from out of province, you can find practitioners part of our network anywhere throughout Canada. And some other networks that we have is the psychology network, as well as physiotherapy and chiropractic network, as well as vision network. And so you're able to get, contacts or eye exams or eyewear, so glasses at a discounted rate. So that's always really nice. So I highly recommend you to double check the Studentcare website to learn more about that as well. So like I referenced to previously, we also, in collaboration with SOGS, so SOGS provides Empowerment, which is a mental health resource available for you folks. It's a multilingual mental health and wellness service in which students have 24/7 access to be able to talk to someone, a counselor, or a life coach regarding a variety of issues. We always say that there's no issue too big or too small. If you want to talk to someone about it, we want to make sure that it's there for you, and you're able to get the confidential support that you want, whatever issue it may be, for stress, anxiety, relationship or interpersonal conflicts, time management, or even career counseling. And that's just to list very few of what the variety of topics that you can access support for. The modalities in which this is done is that there's telephone, but there's also video conferencing. A pre-pandemic time, there was in person. I think once, it gets a little bit safer to convene in person again, that option might be available. But right now it's specifically focused to telephone as well as video conferencing. So this is a toll-free line. You can call in to set up your appointments, in which during the intake process, it's quite simple. You just give them your name, student ID, as well as your contact information so that they can connect with you to set up an appointment. And you just tell them a little bit about the matter of your inquiry or the issue. And then so what we do on the back end is we match you to a practitioner that is specifically specialized or has experience with that issue. And you can also make your request in that way. So, if you choose to, have a language beyond English, or if you prefer to, speak to a female counselor, for example, who has experience in XYZ, then you can request that at that point. And what we do on the back end is that we try to do the matching because we have over 3,000 mental health practitioners within the Empower Me program. So now I guess we'll move on to, but before we move on to questions, I'll show you the Studentcare website so you folks can get a chance to get oriented with where everything is, because we have a lot of information and I want to make it easy for you to be able to orient it. For any details, you can always follow along with me. It's at studentcare.ca. And we also have a unique SOGS member services line so that you can call in Mondays to Friday from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern time. And you can just call in and they'll be able to help you with any claims inquiries or checking to see if you're active or just any questions about the plan itself. So what I'll do is I will drag my website over here. Perfect. And so hopefully you folks can see, maybe George, just a quick thumbs up if you can see the website there. Fantastic, thank you. So what you'll see is when you go to studentcare.ca, you just type in SOGS and you'll get to see this custom microsite that is specific for SOGS members, in which there's a variety of different ways in which you can get information, as well as some critical pieces over here as well. So just to orient you here, you can learn about all the various, health, dental, vision, travel plans, as well as learn more about Empower Me. Here you can double check to see if you fit the criteria of who's covered, something that George talked about earlier in the beginning, as well as talking about the costs and all those various things. And on the right-hand panel here, these are some of my favorite places in which here you can learn about where the networks are, which I'll show you a little bit later on. But very simply put, you just need to select whatever network provider that you're looking for. So let's say dental, for example, you can click on that and then it'll take you to a page that looks something. Actually, let's just try it. Let's just try since we're here together. So yeah, once you click on dental, you get to have the variety of options. Maybe you live around campus. Great. Let's find a practitioner by the main campus. But if you live outside of London, let's say that you live in Hamilton or Guelph or wherever it may be, you can just click on those specific areas and you'll be able to find something in your area. So maybe what I'll do is I'll do around campus and then I'll do main campus just because I find that most folks are living in London. And I had anticipated that it would take a little bit of time to load, so I already pre-opened it here. So what you'll see here is you'll see the map of London and where the main campus is, and you'll get to see all the dental professionals that are nearby that area. Here you go. And then so what you'll have a chance to do is you'll get to look through to see all the different practitioners that are part of our network and the various savings that they provide. So you can find one that is nearby your area or easy to commute to or get to for you. And then they have the phone number there as well. So you can just give them a call right there. Say, hey, I am a SOGS member. I'm part of Studentcare. I'm hoping to book an appointment and access the network savings. And then you can just let them know that before you book your appointment. And then they'll apply the savings to your bill at the end of the day. Okay, perfect. And then so, and that's just for dental. There's a variety of different practitioners that you can look for. Another really important piece is the contact us page, in which you can click that, and then I'll take you to a page that looks like this, in which it has the phone number that I mentioned. It's a SOGS specific care center. So the people who are picking up are specifically trained on the SOGS Health and Dental Plan, as well as supporting SOGS members. So they'll be able to assist you in that way. You can just let them know your name as well as student ID, and they'll be able to pull up your file and see how they can best support. And then what else? Let's see here. Oh, yes. So to move on as well. So on the right-hand column here, we have the claims. So, this is, talking about like how to claim your claims forms, checking your claim status, as well as registering for direct deposit. And so how you can do that is you'll be able to set up an account with Desjardins Insurance, which is your provider. And then you'll be able to, after you've had at least one claim processed by Desjardins. So for returning students, I'm sure you've had at least one claim. For new students, you can, submit your claim through the mobile app. And then once you've submitted that, wait a few days, and then you'll be able to call in or set up your account on Desjardins portal, in which you can not only check on your claim status and see like, do I need to provide more information or when is it coming to me? And you can also set up direct deposit, which means instead of waiting for a check reimbursement, you get a direct deposit reimbursement to your bank account, which is very convenient. What else here? You can also learn more about the travel plan. So the travel plan, like I mentioned previously, it covers you for a maximum of $5 million per lifetime. And it's really advantageous because even if you do travel, during these, travel advisory times, if you do have COVID symptoms, you'll be able to get the emergency services that you need when you're out of the country. And if you go just away for, vacation, you're covered 120 days per trip, which is intended to mimic, again, an academic semester. But if you are going away for any type of like academic approved exchange or internship or, anything like that, you can actually, or an internship, you can request for a longer period of coverage up to, for the duration of the entire time that you're away, as well as 120 days before and 120 days after, in case you want to like travel a little bit before you start your work exchange or anything like that. And what you need to do is just, you need to, contact the care center and also provide a letter from the institution to say, hey, like this is where I'm traveling to. These are the time durations. This is the specific university or institution that I'll be at. And then our team will be able to extend your coverage, as well as also provide you with a personalized travel letter that you might need during your visa or whatever applications. Wonderful. I think that was mainly it. And the last piece here is that, here we have the coverage. So it has a lot of details about, basic plan versus the enhanced plan, as well as opting out and self-enrollment and family and dependent enrollment as well. And here you have the download center, in which you can download the Pay Direct card. You just click on that and it'll look something like this. So it's the carrier number. This year, the carrier number has changed. So please note that for returning students, you'll need to download the new Pay Direct card. The group number, so this is unique to SOGS and Desjardins. And then you have your 9-digit student number, which is essentially, your student ID, and it's also your certificate number. So going back here, in addition to a Pay Direct card, I'm just going to zoom in so you folks can see here. In addition to the Pay Direct card, you can also download your Plan at a Glance, which is your plan brochure. And then you can also download the mobile app. So if you click that, you'll get to see something that looks like this. And then you'll be able to download that app, in which you can set up your profile, your dependents profiles. Of course, you have to enroll your dependents and pay for them first before they can be active on the account. And you also have an electronic Pay Direct card there as well. So I'm just going to stop sharing my screen so I can look at all the questions that you folks have.